is my privilege to have Jeff Bodily tell us about AI prompting that he just learned from SHRM, Society for Human Resource Management. Jeff, it's all you. Um, and I know I think you have a slide presentation. So thank you. I am
Yes,
recording
right
this.
there. Um, Let's see. Okay, so all right, trying to get this set up.
And maybe Jeff, maybe give everybody a little background of how you came upon doing just this, since it's
Are you guys seeing my screen?
not yet.
Let's see. Okay, you seeing that now?
It's coming.
Okay.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
All right, so I worked 20 years retail, talking with Steve, retail management, and then last year I switched to taking a human resource management through Western Governors, which offered the SHRM certification of my choosing. I chose to pick the AI plus HI credential through SHRM, which is a Society for Human Resource Management. And with that, I had limited HR understanding and background. So that's the one that I chose. Many people said to do the HR for one, but I'm one that likes to build and create things, and have training modules and different things. It's one of the quirks that I had in retail that I would save, different things that people had passed down to me in my training and development classes with Weber State, and also continued into human resource management. So I did take the AI, and for my job search, it actually accelerated it when I completed this credential with Western Governors and through SHRM. So it's making AI work for you is my presentation. I'm going to go into some prompting language, and if you guys have questions, feel free to stop me anywhere in this, because the AI needs to work for you. Um, AI won't undersell you. Your vague prompting, your instructions are the things that will undersell you in your LinkedIn profile, on your resume, your cover letters, anything that you generate and send out to the hiring team. So one of the examples that we often do is we say that we manage 8 employees, but we need to quantify that a little bit more. So one of the things I'm going to try to teach you, or hope that I can teach you today, is RTF. And RTF reframes your experience. It gives the quantifiable and the cognitive thinking that many of us struggle with, or I can't think, I don't know how to quantify that, and AI will do it for you if we set the parameters up for it. So the switch on the RTF framework is led an 8-person cross-functional team, improving operational efficiency by 12% while increasing retention through structured coaching and weekly performance check-ins. RTF is the formula for making your content better, the stuff that you want to share with hiring teams, recruiters, and preparing you for interviews and stuff like that. If you were just to put RTF into ChatGPT and ask what is RTF, it would probably kick back rich text format, which is a Word document of the 1980s, which was rich text format, allowing us to share text and content across multiple platforms. But with AI, we're going to switch this, and you guys have to switch this if you want to. And I would strongly suggest that you do that In any of the AI aspects that you use, whether it's Copilot, Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, or many of the AI functions out there, is to tell your AI promptings that you want R to stand for the role, which is a perspective. T to clarify that perspective in the task that you're assigning AI to do. And then your format, how you want AI to spit it out. And we'll go through this and explain this a little bit more as we do that. But I would strongly urge you guys to write this down. Play with your Chat GPT, your Gemini, Copilot, whatever AI platform you're doing. And when you do this, you're going to want to start a new project. You're going to want to essentially reset your AI because you're going to train the AI through this process. This was one of the things in the training with SHRM is we spent essentially 3 days doing nothing but training the AI promptings to run this RTF. There's multiple ones that you can use, but I'm just going to focus on this today. Um, like I said, R is the role or the perspective. Who should your AI be? An example of this is it's your assistant. Use it as your assistant in your job search. We had some financial going back through my notes. Um, Kaylin is in travel. Set it up as a hiring manager for a travel agent or a travel company, a hiring manager in that field so that AI thinks that way. Graphic designer, I think John mentioned that he had done some art and some crafts and some stuff like that. Set it up as a graphic designer, set it up as a tattoo artist, set it up as this or executive coach, policy analysis, financial analysis, as Caden had mentioned, or data analysis, so that it's funneling and narrowing down what you guys are searching for in your job search, what you're wanting to create for your resumes and your cover letters, um, email question or interview questions, courtesy emails. So T, as we step through this, is a task. What you want it to actually do, the deliverable, the problem you need solved, the needed outcome, or the information that you need about a company. If you were to scan a job search or their entry level or their front content that you see as you explore the company, you can copy and paste that into AI. You can take their job description, their culture, their other stuff, let AI mull it over, think about it, and save those documents that you scan in about the company so that AI thinks like the company, thinks like a recruiter from that company, a hiring manager from that company, somebody that's going to interview you from the company. Um, a weak example is just putting in performance management is a weak prompt that give me asking your AI to do that. But a stronger prompt would be draft me a 3 paragraph explanation of performance management for new supervisors in the public sector roles. And even narrowing this down, like I had mentioned before, copy and pasting culture, content, mission statement, vision statements, other stuff like that. And AI can tailor your resumes, your cover letters, your communication with that company and the hiring managers to mirror their vision and their culture. And it also removes the ambiguity. Yes, Megan.
So I had a question about this, in AI, what I feel like is I must be missing something because when I put these parameters in, it's like I'm having to reteach it. Is there a way to like create an instance like for different things? I don't know. Do you mean if I'm just putting it in my main chat or different conversations? Or is it a conversation will hold these parameters, or is there something more that I'm missing? I don't know if that question makes sense. Hopefully it does, but
No, you're exactly right. And this is where you have to teach it. You have to tell it specifically, and it takes time.
Mhm.
Um, Taking this course, the teacher had us open up our Chat GPT or Gemini, our stuff, our AI prompting system that we had, and one lady put it in and prompted, and it gave it more of a mixed feel to it as far as had put in her playlist. So it was giving stuff to the playlist, if that makes sense. You have to be specific, you have to be strategic in what you do. When we first started this, she had us ask AI what it thought was RTF, and it spit back the rich text format. And then she's like, prompt AI with R will now stand for role, T will now stand for task, F will now stand for format, and have AI remember it, and then prompt it with what does RTF stand for? And if it spit back the role, the task, the format, we knew we had prompted it right. If not, you would have to go in and redo it again. But the thing is ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, Claude, all the other AI platforms, everything we feed into it, it will remember it. We have to differentiate what role we want, what task we want, and what function every time we log in or create a project, or it will culminate everything we fed to it. Yes, Jason.
Yeah, because you said something along the lines and just did again about starting a project. And so I'm hearing that, meaning you're basically saying, okay, Chat GPT or whoever, start with a clean slate right now, and everything that's coming on is related specifically to this thing that we're trying to do at the moment,
Mhm.
as opposed to remembering my playlist from last week.
Yes,
Is that a command? Is that a particular prompt?
that's prompting. That's prompting it specifically. You have to put that into AI. You
But
have to designate that every time, and not every time, but when you first do this, that you want R to be the role, T to be the task. Like, and it's why it took us 3 classes at 3 hours a pop on a weekend on a Friday to do this. It's a work in creation, and the more AI, and this is a scary part, the more AI knows about you, it the more it can generate what you want. But it's also you can't just throw everything at it, especially personal identification numbers and stuff like that. Um,
right. I guess what I'm saying is that if I had three different projects that I wanted to work on, how would I move from one to the other so they're not getting
create a new
separation.
project
overlapping?
for each one.
I mean, that's something that you just type in and then say, we're working on project resume today.
Yes,
Um,
and label them in your thing that
okay.
you're going to work on a project. Label it resumes. Label another one email. Label another one that. It's like you're going to have multiple tabs
Oh,
on
okay.
that. Steve, go ahead. You've got
I,
your
I was just going to say something I just recently learned that he's saying, and I don't know if everybody is getting it. And so um, that would be um, so I don't know which AI everybody's using. I use Chat GPT, but one of my clients the other day was showing me projects, and I started creating projects, meaning that I ask AI to do Chat GPT to do a similar task every time. I'll give you an example for those who've met with me. I get the AI um, notes that we're going to get today from job team. I get those and I send those over to everybody, but that's too much to put into the calendar. So I ask it to extract 10 bullets out of that for me. And I do it every week. So I created a prompting as Jeff is talking about. I'm still training it. Sometimes I have to ask it to do things a couple times to train it. Before it knows me pretty well because I use it a lot, but the word he used earlier, and I think Jason, you just said it ago, is called projects. And I want to make sure that um, I start using projects because what Megan said, if we're asking it to do the same task multiple times, and we have a stream of I think prompting, and I'm going to let Jeff go more in detail because he's better at this than I am. But that's what I'm learning that that I need to do is um, to have that project so it's written out what I want it to do so it saves me time and is more on point than me having to do it on a fresh new conversation every time. Is that what I heard you say a little bit too, Jeff?
Yes, let me see. I don't know which. Okay. So this isn't, let me share this. Well, I will do this because we'll get into the weeds. If I,
And we can come to that after you're going through your slides as well. Either whatever works best for you.
okay, so where were we at? Okay, so we're on task. So let's go to this one. So your next, okay. So your next one would be the format. And like Steve said, yes, you want to create a new project. And in that new project, you can create new chats as well. So I've got one that's set up straight for my HR stuff. I call it my HR. It's my resumes, email, stuff like that. And then I've got other chats for some of my consulting stuff. So I've probably got right now 15 to 20 projects opened. And then within those 15 to 20 projects, I've got multiple chats um, or multiple, yeah, they're called chats under the project, I believe. And it'll vary for whatever AI system you're using, whether it's Gemini,
Right.
Copilot, Claude, or any of those out there. But the format is how you want it to spit it out. How should the output look? And this is the most underused part because it will seriously spit out a Word document, a PowerPoint presentation, bullet points, email draft, resume, cover letter, talking points. But if it doesn't know what you want or the format that you want it in when you first start this, you're going to have to walk it back because it's just going to throw so much information at you that's disorganized. Teach your prompting at the first of it what you want the outcome to be. And it will save you a lot of time, a lot of stress. And if you get to a point that you don't like the output, tell ChatGPT, I don't like where this is going. It will backtrack. Okay, here's some options. What which of these options, and that's more of the tree of thought, chain of thought prompting that's further down. But AI is smart enough with this RTF tracking that it's the first building block for me. And in this class that I took, to start with this. And then as you understand this, you can to expand it out to other promptings that I have. We don't have the time for it today, but will basically give you more options that you can train if you're doing project management, would be chain of thought, or not chain of thought, tree of thought, where you can go out on branches. They call it branch thinking, and get different options that you can present to a business partner, a manager, a CEO, the finance department, or HI or HR, sorry. But control that and let with if you don't structure that without format, AI will choose the structure for you that it thinks most suits the stuff you put in for it. But if you tell it you want Word, Microsoft Word over Apple Pages, or Keynote over PowerPoint or stuff like that, it will generate that as it builds upon itself, rather than you having to walk it back to build the end product. Let it do it from the start and work with it. And this is in the RTF prompting the role, the task, the function, or the format. And then here we're getting into some of them. Here's a weak example. Write a cold email to a company asking about an open position I applied for. Or I don't know anyone, or I don't know anyone there. Make it professional. This would essentially be a generic prompt for AI. It would give you essentially this. And as we look at the other one, assign AI to be a professional business communication coach, to write a cold email to mid-level career professionals expressing your interest, your desire to work for the company, that you're looking for more information, that you don't have any connections, but you recently applied. And then the format is keep it under 175 words, make it professional and confident, and have a clear subject line so that when somebody looks at it, they know what you're looking for. Or they can, oh, this doesn't deal with me in the company. I can forward it on to the HR managers, the data analysis, financial managers, or people there, so that it's not coming off as just a generic email that everybody sends into the company wanting information. You put forth the effort. And yes, you're going to have to look at it and tweak it. Here's here's for your resumes and your LinkedIn's. Your role, assign the AI tool to be an executive recruiter, a hiring manager, a CEO or a CFO. Rewrite it to upload. You can upload your resumes, your previous LinkedIn profiles by copying and pasting them. You can do the entire thing. You can work with one section at a time. You can um, work with one section, send it off to a job coach or somebody, other people to look at it before you throw just a completely AI generated thing. And you can also put it into bullet points, 30 words or less. I did this with LinkedIn about a month ago, changing my branding, looking at other people in the HR field and saying, hey, copy and paste this, merit to this. I've got similar experience. And have AI argue with itself, have it prove itself. I don't like this. Where did you get this reasoning off of my resume? Why did you put that I can work a human resource information software? They're like, oh, we put that because it said that you worked with this program. Make sure that it didn't falsify the program that you worked with. So AI isn't perfect. Someday it'll switch ADP for Workday. Have it look at it, and you can throw it into you can have it change your headlines. That was one of the big key things for me, is it was pulling out headlines and positions and things that I could do just off of my resume. Suggestions, HR generalist, chain management, project management, because of things I'd done or listed in my resume that I never thought of or didn't think I was qualified for. But having AI argue with itself, basically asking it, how did you get this? Where did you pull this from? Is there something better I can do? Is there a better format for this that you suggest? So let it work for you and let it design the things for you so that, and give you, let you let it think cognitively for you, because I think a lot of us get in the funk that we don't know how to do it, or we don't know the language for the job that we're interviewing for or want for ourselves. And then we're almost done here. Examples of AI use: professional career writer for your cover letter. Tailor your cover letter for mid mid-career business professionals applying for the position, emphasizing your transferable skills, measurable impact, and formatting it to 3 to 4 paragraphs with professional tone. And tone is one of the things here too with AI. Depending on what platform you're using, you can have one, I think, is lazy or friendly, and 10 is professional. But play with it. Like give me a temperature is what they call it of a 1. Create it and give me a temperature of 10 so that you can see the scale range and how it changes. If it's not you, if it doesn't represent your writing style at a 1, take it up to a 2 or 3 or a 10 and see where you want it to represent you personally. And then interview prep. It's like you can have it be a hiring manager. Take the job description, generate me 8 likely interview questions off of the job description. And you can also, like I mentioned before, marry it with the culture so that you're putting in tidbits of information in the interview that will excite them, show that you've done your research on the company, but also apply the skills that you have to the culture, mission statement, and vision of that company. And then also going down the format. How do you want it? Some people like lists, some people like bulleted stuff, other people want paragraphs. It's all on your personal preference on how you want that to spit it out. And then, like I said before, verify the hallucinations. If something doesn't seem right, ask AI to prove itself. Um, Tell AI not to exaggerate your information, or how did it quantify it or create the experiences that you had? How did it get the 12% on an improvement of operational efficiency? Have it argue with itself. How confident are you that I'll get an interview using this resume, this interview, this letter? Where did you pull the information? What part of my resume did you pull it from? Where did you pull this stuff from my LinkedIn profile? And it will tell you where it got it. It will quantify it. And then just take advantage of that in this prompting. That AI plus the human intelligence direction, AI is your executable. AI will create whatever you want. It wants to make you happy, but in making you happy, you have to verify the execution, how it's doing. And it's like I said, it's not about letting AI write your resume, but it's letting it verify the content that you've created and expanding or blowing up that cognitive stuff that we struggle with. It's like, I don't know how to present this. I don't know how to quantify it. Let AI do it. And keep the structure of the RTF. The role, you control the perspective. The task clarifies what you want to do. And the format is the usability. And then I'll just throw this up here. I'm more than willing to connect with anybody. I've got multiple other things, but RTF is the basis, if you can set up the role you want, the task you want it to do in the format, it will save you so much time. And yes, it's hard, it's time consuming, but I will say this, one of the participants from this, the president of, I think it's the Salt Lake City SHRM, his whole thing with this was I think he was using Copilot to create chatbots by the end of the class. Roger, you had a, oh, you were clapping. Sorry.
No, actually, I have a question.
Okay.
You took this through Western Governors, correct?
This was through SHRM. Western Governors paid for my SHRM certification. I think it was anywhere from a 2,000 to $3,000 class through SHRM. It was called the AI plus HI certification. With that, and it seriously changed the way we thought. And each of us, we didn't do the same project. I did mine. Basically, I created a training packet if I were to be an HR manager. Like I mentioned, the other guy was more seasoned in HR than I was from the Salt Lake City SHRM chapter. He used his to he was testing out some chatbot information, and so that was his project, I believe, at the end of the class. Other people was training material. They were using it um, for some training material. Other people were using it for how to teach AI. They were taking the class so they could try and train other people how to use AI. So it's there were multiple levels on this, but yeah, that's how I did it.
Could you throw the link into the chat for those who were interested in following through on this?
Yes, I think. Do you have that, Steve?
The PowerPoint, or is that what we're
What
talking
do you,
about?
The link through this where he went and took this class.
I don't, but I will look. I'll look as he's still talking. I'll look and see. Let me just
that'd just be a share link, Steve.
um
It gives me an idea where I can actually go through and maybe find something on LinkedIn where I can use my library account to do the training for free as well.
so I'm going to put this in the chat. This is um Now, I belong to SHRM, so I don't know if you're going to get all you want from here. If I can download it and it's okay for me to share it, I am a member of the Society for Human Resource Management. So I actually have access to their database. But that is what I pulled up right there, Roger. Again, I haven't played any more than just look that up, but it's the AI prompts guide for HR with templates. Um, and it looks like it's got some stuff in here. Um, Looks like there's a video, but again, I don't know if this is what we're what Jeff is referring to. Um,
But
Yeah, it
yeah,
looks
it's
like
just
it. It looks like it.
I,
so yeah.
I, yeah, I think in the world of AI, and before that, before even AI, with for those who've met with me and we talk a little bit about ATS. ATS has many of the ATS systems are using it to screen people out. And so, this has helped us to screen ourselves back in. I like one of the things that Jeff said, and I think it's really important. We're playing with this so that it sounds like us, but I'm going to ask a couple questions. And if we open this up to if he's having more screening or he wants to do that, we'll bring it up to the gallery. My question would be, what are some of the things we need to look to make sure we don't include when we do some AI stuff that shows up that's a dead giveaway that everything came from AI, so we aren't discounted by what we did. So I think Jeff's going to finish unscreening here. Is that what I?
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop sharing
Down at the very
my
bottom. There you go.
screen
Perfect,
and
perfect,
answer any
perfect.
questions you guys have.
And I'm going to bring it back to the gallery. There we go. Okay. So there's a couple things that there's giveaways that people go like, oh, that was AI produced. And that's okay. I mean, AI is fun. Is anybody playing with it? Let's just see by raise of hands who's playing with it. Okay. I mean, even to photos. Somebody, oh, we all raised our hands, so everybody's hands raised. Um, so Tommy looked like he's always at a bowling alley. Okay. Welcome, Tommy. He just came in a little bit late. But Tommy had a great photo of him, and and he needed a professional photo for his LinkedIn. And so if I can find it, or if Tommy, if you have it, we had AI put him in a sport coat and a jacket. It didn't change anything. It was a great picture. Do you
I
have
don't
that,
know.
Tommy?
My wife said I looked fat in it.
Okay. Well, we'll come back. We'll let the gallery decide, but we'll go back to questions. Sorry, there's so much with AI, but let's go. I'm going to go around. I like to do this just because that way everybody gets to talk. If you don't have anything to say, it's okay, but I'm going to call on everybody so everybody has a chance to ask or comment based on what they're gathering, because this is a great place for everybody to learn from each other, especially in this day and age when AI is prevalent and we can use it to our advantage to get hired, to do projects on our own. I mean, there's so many things personal I use it for. So I'm going to go with Tammy. She's on my left-hand side at the top. I'm just going to people at the top. I don't know what it looks like in on your gallery. Maybe I'll make it the same. Yeah, I'll put it in Merce. I think that puts everybody about the same, I think. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, no, that's weird. That's weird. Sorry. Back to gallery. I don't know how to get, yeah, as everybody's in it. Okay. Tammy, are you using AI?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Any tips or questions you have for Jeff?
I've just been muddling through it. I just use mine for to look for answers or questions and answers for interviews. Um, and if there's some kind of a question that might be asked in the application, I will have it kind of indicate what answer might be appropriate, and then I'll go from there. But that's about it.
Okay. Do you have a question for Jeff at all or
I
comment?
don't. Is there any way we can get a copy of the presentation?
Yes, I emailed that to Steve. If he doesn't have that, I can email that again and
I do
forward that
have
out.
that. So for those who are new, typically what happens, now I have a meeting right after this with Brian Clark at 11:15. I don't give myself much room for a health break, but I will take a quick health break. Um, and then I have one again right at 1 o'clock. So it's a busy day for me. But hopefully towards the end of the day, if not sometime early tomorrow, there is an AI part of Zoom that transcribes this. I will put, because I will do it in an email, and I will do it in an email that's open to everybody. Yes, I do know how to blind copy, but I don't want a blind copy. I want everybody to connect with everybody. So that's why that's open. I will include that. Plus, I will include this video. I will upload this video. So if you say, oh, he said some things, I want to listen to it again. Yes, that'll be there. It'll come on a YouTube channel that I put it up on. So yes. Okay. Next up is Caden. Any questions you have for Jeff?
Um, so basically what you're saying is like the role of AI in this kind of context would be to help you polish your resume, prepare for interview questions mostly, and like develop skills or figure out areas that like you can improve your career skills in.
Yeah, you can use this format for anything that you want. The RTF program program for or the prompting. Um, it's just all on how you want to do it, what role you want AI to play, what task you want it to do, and the format you want it to do. That was just one of I think five or six or seven prompting strategies that they taught us in that class, and I've pretty much been able to do most of the stuff that I want for work, for school, for other stuff. I spent 20 minutes on it a couple Sundays ago, creating a scout songbook, a camping songbook with the songs that I wanted, and I set up the format that it can rotate the songs out. I can take the packet, the paper packet of it that has a list of songs that's set to a PG rating, and I can take it to leaders, um, youth groups and stuff like that, and plug it in. It's like, we don't want these songs, we want a different format, and generate it in 5 minutes just by a couple prompts. So, and that was something that I was just playing around with on my own. So AI can do anything you want it to and generate it in about half an hour to 45 minutes, depending on how much time you want to give it and how you want to work to generate it. So it's my wife kind of sat at my side during this class. She's using it to grade elementary school essays, or at least do the pre-scan. And she'll throw up the rubric for the essays that she has, have it do a pre-scan, and then she'll do the final scan so that it's not just doing that, but like the multiple choice test, she can feed it in and spit out and have it almost instantaneously grade for kiddos on that, because she uses a lot of the Canvas and the platform, the electronic platforms for that. So she's set it up. Now, after this class, she's like, I just saved myself 3 hours of grading by feeding it into AI on the multiple choice, the simple stuff. She's like, some of the writing stuff takes a little bit longer, but yeah, it will do what you want it to do and how you prompt it and ask. But yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Caden. And you're right, you can use it for anything. Next up is Bren.
Yeah. So, no real questions, Jeff. I also come from WGU, and I took the labs training they had on AI prompts, and it was common to have like prompts that were like a page long or pages long, including a lot of detail. So I like the simplified approach for the RTF. It keeps it simple, which I like. But I think also if you're going to be creating personalized content, it's important to make it personal and make it sound like you. So as part of what you could include in those prompts, you could incorporate tone and like add whimsy, add humor, add satire, and
Mm-hmm.
then provide like a reference. Like if it's something that you've read and you want to mimic or kind of duplicate that style of writing in your speech, if that's similar to how you would talk, that way the things that it creates sound more like you, or they have more of the type of um, tone that you want to set for what you're developing. So I do use AI and I enjoy it, and I think it's fun to play around with. But thank you for this. I like it.
You're welcome.
Thanks. Next up is Kaylin.
Um, I just appreciate your time and everything that you shared. I have been playing around with ChatGPT, but I feel like a sponge today, just absorbing and taking in all this information, and then being able to go in and do exactly what you've taught or suggested, the RTF, and see how it works for me this week. So I'm excited to do that. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Next up is Mike.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff, for doing all that. I've been using AI for a long time, so but in work and work related mostly. I would tell you the biggest thing I might take away from this is make sure you do challenge AI, because just because it says one thing, you need to push back if you don't agree with it and ask it to give you a different recommendation, or where it got its information from, because don't take everything it says for 100% accuracy. It is still something that you can push back on, and maybe the human eye or human mind is better than the AI. So, or if it doesn't work for you. So I love that. But thanks, Jeff.
And I will say this. This is just, like I said, the starting block for me. I've got other ones, Risen, Road, Chain, and Tree of Thought, just like you said, so that it gives you different options to do that. But this is the basis of the basic building block for AI and what was taught in that. But there's other, like I said, other promptings that I use to explore and basically make AI fight with itself, depending on the project that I'm working on.
Thanks, Mike. Next up, John.
Um, and thanks, Jeff, for doing the walk through everything. I didn't know. I guess I've used AI enough in my previous job, like to get by. I was one that I was more keen on the human element because I was the person who took better notes than AI. I was the person that held better meetings than AI, and then it superseded me. So I have feelings, mixed thoughts and feelings on using it too much, um, but also appreciating just the way things are going. So also not wanting to ever be a stick in the mud in that perspective. Because there was something said at CHG, AI is not going to take our job, but someone using AI will. And that's a bit of a brutal truth, I think, that I'm appreciating over time. So I use it. I am not using it for art. Don't use it for art. But other stuff, I think automating the digital world that we have created for ourselves is maybe a worthwhile effort for this creature.
Thanks, John. Next is Melinda.
Thank you, Jeff. I've only recently started using AI, so it was nice to kind of have a base to have a better trajectory of where I'm going to be using it and how. I loved the use of the interview question generation. I hadn't thought of that one before, so I'm very glad to have that sort of put in front of me as a really good option. Yeah, I've kind of been a Luddite until now, and I agree with the art thing, but I think AI is something we're all going to have to become pretty fluent in.
Right. Thanks, Melinda. Next up is Jason.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. So the RTF prompting scheme or strategy, that's not the only one you use, or why did you present that one today if there's other ones, or is this your favorite?
This is the basic of it. You can generate the other ones. You can pretty much generate everything with this off of it. But I'm throwing in the chat the other ones that I use that are a little bit more in depth. But if you don't master the first one,
The
these
first
other
one.
ones will be a lot harder.
I see. So this is kind of the baseline
Yes,
one.
this is the building block for everything else that I use for that, and um, can narrow it down really quick rather and generate the promptings or the questions I want AI to ask. But I can't remember what the acronyms role objective, it might be department and evaluate on the road. I can't remember exactly what the acronym is on that.
Right.
And Risen's the same. Chain is just links of a chain that you start with one and how it links to everything else. Tree of thought is you give it one idea and it branches out with different ways that you can use that idea or different options for that. So kind of think of it that way. But yeah, you can see how it expands. The role in the R in Risen and Road is
The same
still
one.
the same. It's still the role, and then you're just doing like the objective or the detail, I think, on that. Let me pull it up and see. But yeah, you can Google these, you can Google
Okay.
RTF, and it'll come up with different things. One thing I didn't mention too is as you're using AI, you can have it tailor your resumes and your cover letters to the ATS system that it's using. You can tell it to tailor your resume for the ATS system of Workday or ADP, NeoGov, Taleo, stuff like that, and it will give it a different look, something that'll feed easier into the AI or the ATS systems
Yes.
as well. So as you're interviewing or looking at companies, look at what ATS system they're tracking, and you can train AI to write your resume, your cover letter, or whatever to more easily pass through those ATS systems just by prompting it or telling it what they're screening against.
I mean, do they present what ATS system they use on a job posting, or where would you see
Some
that?
of them will have it down in the right-hand corner.
Down in
It's
And
the
for those
like as
who
you get into it.
for those who have access to CPI, the premium version of Job Scan, if you know the company, it can tell you most likely what ATS system they're using to help you know tricks for that particular ATS system. Plus, there's some new things being released out of the CPI, but they haven't been released at probably starting March. So, for those who don't know what that is, I'll be telling more about that. Next up is Brian Clark.
Jeff, thanks for the overview, and that was good stuff. I'm just kind of a newbie to chat to AI, and I know I actually while you're talking, I just typed in as Copilot. It was easy on my desktop, and typed in Copilot and said, "Tell me companies in the Salt Lake area that need a product safety engineer." It gave me a group of different industries and gave me a list of companies, and it's amazing to me that it does that. I know also in a previous meeting that Tammy had said she didn't like her photo, and someone suggested that she do a pencil sketch. And so I just held up my laptop and did a screen capture of my image, told to put me in a business shirt. It put me in a white business shirt with a blue tie. It says, no, I don't want a white shirt. It put me in I said, change it to a blue. It gave me an image of a blue. I said, crop it. It cropped it, removed all backgrounds. And then I said, oh, I noticed its tie was crooked. So I said, straighten the tie. I'm a neat guy. I had the tie straight. It did that for me. And then I said, make a pencil sketch. It was pretty amazing that it would actually walk through all that just by telling it what you wanted to do.
Okay, Brian, you're going to have to screen share.
Okay, I can do that.
If there's pictures that you like too, it will take away the double chin. It will merge and do different things. I did the same thing a couple of weeks ago on a couple. I merged about 3 or 4 pictures that had aspects that I liked and picked out those aspects and merged it into one. So there's
So you
multiple
seeing
options with
my
that.
screen or no?
Not yet.
Okay, hang on. It's called operator error.
But it's just amazing. And so for anybody who's not using it, I mean, let's just say you have that recipe that you can't find and it's out there. So yeah, there we go. I think we're almost there. We're seeing something. There we
Yeah,
go.
so this is the screenshot I did with just the PC's laptop's camera. And then
Okay.
I said, hey, I want you to put me in a business attire. It did this. And then I said, well, I'd like a striped tie, not a solid tie, and I want a blue shirt. I'm just amazed, and remove the background. So it did that.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I said, do a pencil sketch of me.
Yeah.
I just amazed just by typing it in. That's the thing, and asking it to do these things.
Okay. Now I only have to caution one thing for those who haven't, this is just new. And if you're working, X amount of hours, you need to take a break. This could be your new toy to play with. It could be your new toy, but it has so many business or job seeking things as well. So,
yeah, pretty wild.
Right. All right. And we're going to unscreen. There we are. Perfect. All right. Thanks for showing us real life there. Okay. All right. I don't know if anybody screened anymore. I can't tell. Next up is Roger.
You got a great presentation there. I found last year I started using AI about a year ago after I got laid off, and I realized that is the future. And if you're not using it, you got to be using it. You can use AI for a lot of different things. What I asked it to do is put together a training program for a kind of a field that I wanted it to start exploring, and it went out and did it. provided me with all the different sites to go find free training on everything. One of the things that I started doing was reading a lot of newsletters too, and I'll post one of them. It's called the Rundown, and I'll post it in the chat. It's a newsletter that comes out every morning, and it tells you all the different things that are happening with AI throughout the industry. If you're in like finance or medical or transportation or something, go out and ask AI what type of training is available for you out there that may be free that you can go take. Uh, and then go take that training and learn AI, and then kind of put that into your LinkedIn page or maybe even on your resume, so that employers see that and they see that you're actually involved with working with AI. It will help you possibly even land an interview.
Okay. Thanks, Roger. Next up is Alex.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for putting that presentation together. Being a relatively newbie in AI playtime, my challenge has been trying to figure out with basic fundamental elements that I have immediate access to, getting it to cooperate with me. Is there a particular location that you might be willing to share as far as like how can we select specific guidance to the AI in order for it to provide with specific feedback? Because in a number of cases, what I've been finding personally, and again, I've been having challenges using it for whatever crazy reason, probably because I guess I'm might not be aligned in my thinking of how to use it. But I seem like despite my efforts to try to get it to cooperate with me, more often than not, I get more kind of garbage out than useful data from it.
It's all in your prompting, all in how you put that in, and it's think of the acronym garbage in, garbage out, and it's playing with it. The more you play with it, the more you work with it and do that. Google some strong AI prompting and see what it for different questions that you have. And you can even one of the things in this training is setting AI up as your Google. Instead of using Google, use AI. And asking ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, Claude, any of the AI things, but putting that as your front and center. Because the more you feed into it, the more it will do to your liking. And this is also the scary part, where you need to set up guardrails. You don't want to feed in your personal information, your other stuff for access, but you want to be specific on what you're asking and how you're prompting.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is getting in that mindset of I need to be more specific in my questions. I need to be more detailed in my questions, detail oriented, because if you're just asking generic questions, it's going to give you generic responses.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, we're wrapping up here. Let's see, who else do we have? We have not had Tommy McBain speak or have any comments.
Thank you for presenting this. I only come in the last half, so I really don't have a lot to ask about. I did find my AI picture that ChatGPT made. If you want to see it,
Sure, throw it up there.
sure. See that? Thanks. Yeah. Okay. And I discovered with the QR code that Edge seems to make the best QR code. You go anywhere else, they usually have you use a redirect. So those aren't really trusted very well.
And Tommy's given us a preview of what This is a just card. I believe that's what he's got
Yeah.
up on the screen. So so we are going to see that in the future. So that's something we're going to talk about, different tools in addition to a resume. So thanks, Tommy. Okay. And the next person would be, I think I've got everybody except for Tara. I think everybody's got a chance to talk. Tara, do you have a comment?
I don't have any questions, but I do appreciate the presentation because I've used AI a little bit in my job searching resumes, all that stuff, but not a ton. And I think you've provided guidance on how to do it better, as has everybody else who made comments about how to do it better. So thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay. Jeff, any final comments?
I had a thought, but now my mind's blank. But yeah, I'm like I had mentioned, reach out if you guys have more questions, more concerns on this through LinkedIn. Shoot me an email on that. This is, like I said, just the tip of the iceberg of some of the promptings that I have and the end result that it can get you. With that, I am in Syracuse, but not opposed to traveling to help you guys out or meeting via Zoom, however you want to do that if you still have questions or concerns.
Hey, let's do this real quick. Hold on. Okay, everybody, big round of applause. Okay,
Thank you.
I'm going to end this recording and we're going to continue on. So thank you again. This is Jeff Bodily talking about making AI prompting work for you.